of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good, nice cool morning we got today.
Nathan was responsible for that. You got rid of that humidity, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second. First and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Approve the minutes from June 12th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as written from June 12th.
I take the motion. First and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 2 down. Looks like we have no one here from the public, unless Nathan wants to talk to us.
Can I voice of public, you have something to say?
No.
Public concern, and I think we may have touched on it over the past couple of weeks, but speaking of our illustrious recording device here, the audio,
Yeah.
for people that actually do go back
Listen to
and
it.
look at the meetings and watch them, listen to, the audio cuts out. Works, doesn't work.
Oh,
So,
it's-
I did have a public concern that,
Expressed there.
and he showed me an example of it, and it's fine, everything's working, and then the audio quits.
And that's odd, because we're not jostling it, so it can't be loose wire, it must be something else.
So he accused us of running a covert operation, which I assured him we were not.
Does that happen every meeting, or just that?
Not, some, there's a couple examples, and, you know, the video was there, but audio was missing, so it's a public concern, you know, we make sure, turn the mics on and everything.
Well, and I can make sure and have Travis come take a look at it too, I didn't realize.
Because, yeah, it was working about as good as you could expect, because he showed me a little clip, you know, everybody's got it on their phones and whatnot. So I said, okay, and then it quit.
If they advance it on your computer or on your phone,
Yeah,
if you advance it, you have to let the audio catch up, because it'll move it ahead on the picture, and then all of a sudden it takes it a minute for the audio to catch up to the, so
Okay.
that might be, 'cause that's what someone told me, they'd been messing around with it, and every time they moved it to try to re-listen to something, they had to let
But
it
if they
catch
did
up.
wait, it did catch up.
Catch up.
That's possible, so I mean, it's just a concern, so we wanna make sure our equipment, obviously, some people do actually watch the.
Some people pay to listen to this.
I guess that's the way they like to do it, so, anyway, that's all I got on public concerns.
okay, we'll get him checking
You know,
out.
Eric, they might, once in a while, I've called up other counties and watched theirs, sometimes out of state. You ought to try that, have them try that and see if it's...
Well, and that, or like Bruce said too, it might be just a technical glitch too, because, you know, buffering, loading, all that fun stuff, and computer video stuff.
Yeah.
But, anyway, wanna just bring that up, so make sure that we went to the trouble of having all this high-tech equipment, that it works all the time.
Yeah.
So there you go on the public concern.
Okay. All righty, well, we are gonna move on down to approve deputy salary certificates for elected officials in 17.
Did you receive copies of these?
In our packet here, I
Yeah.
did,
Nobody gave you
Don't
copies
think
of
so.
those?
I didn't.
Nope.
All right,
Did not.
let me do them real fast for you, I thought my staff did, so.
Ray, you take care of the custodians, new custodian salary too. We're supposed to give him...
I think,
That's already done?
well, I think someone mentioned it, Peggy,
Some
was it you?
people-
I thought maybe it'd be on here, but...
I don't think,
I'm not due to come to another meeting, just as I enjoy the company.
Anytime.
we can go retro back
You
to,
don't even have to buy my lunch, I just like, you know, such a nice group of people.
When it brought up to me,
Glad to have you.
Run it.
good job.
Short and sweet.
Yeah. We try.
Looks like we might have some downtime here.
Almost the scheduling on the drainage stuff was a little spread out.
Yeah.
well, that, I thought that was, the first two were closer than that. No, it is 9 and 9:20.
Sounds like we're gonna have a little cooler week this week.
Somewhat.
Yeah, Wednesday is
Better than 90.
87, and the rest of the 14 days, I think, is like 80, in the low 80s.
That is very nice to hear.
Do you have, Bruce, when you're looking in your blog specifically, do you have something on Wednesday at 10 a.m.?
Bid letting.
Bid letting.
That box job.
Yep. Just double checking.
10 o'clock.
I wasn't inadvertently making stuff up.
Yeah, 10 a.m.
Boardroom, 10 a.m.
Yep.
Just that's what. Nathan, he's cool like this, you have to get rid of those short pants.
It'll be all right. You wearing short sleeves today. It's colder by the window.
Pass that down, that's one whole packet.
Whole packet?
Yep.
Yeah, Eric, here's the whole packet.
Oh, thank you. I like
The
that.
ladies on Dave's spot, or in the door.
I got one extra from the recorder.
Oh, there's supposed to be two recorders.
Oh, there is.
She
Okay.
separated hers instead, put them on one letter.
Oh. Okay.
Well, you should have two recorder ones, and then the auditor, and then the treasurer, and then the sheriff. Is that what you ended up with? Because if you didn't...
Yep. Yep. Okay.
2 recorder, 1 auditor,
Yeah,
One treasurer.
1 treasurer.
One sheriff.
And one sheriff.
All
I
right.
made it.
Okay, so maybe
Sounds
you got
good.
one extra one in that phone. Okay, so the officers are required to file with us deputy salary certifications, or we're not allowed to pay those people effective July 1st. So the recorder has gone with 85% for Mary Beth Olson and 70% for Christine Clyde. She's moving Christina from the clerk to deputy. In my office, we have Chris Friend at 85%, and I would like to move Trish Eagley up to 70%. And then she would be a deputy. In the treasurer's office, Jenna Pettinger is, going to be at 85%, Pam Kirsch at 85%, and Carrie Anderson at 85%. And then the sheriff deputies are all the deputies, so, and then he's also put in the jailers.
Is there any changes that from the treasurer's office, anyone move up, or they all?
No,
stay
no.
the same?
We did move deputies, all three of the officers, auditor, recorder, and treasurer, from 84% to 85 this year. And
Okay.
85 is as high as they can go, so they will be at their max, as far as the first deputy.
The other percentage is upon recommendation of the office manager.
So, with Trish on 70%, is that the,
It'd be 70% of my salary.
I understand what I'm saying is,
Okay.
with her, as the drainage, is there any difference between what she's doing on the drainage stuff versus,
Nope, she'll still do the same job.
okay, that's,
She'll just take on more responsibility in the
That's what I
office
wondered.
as far as, management administration
okay,
type things, and she said she's willing to step up to that. So
Awesome.
I said,
All right,
okay, she's willing, so am I.
that's good. So we need a recommendation on those numbers, or on each one of those?
You can do it as a total.
I make-
Everything?
That's everything.
Total.
Mhm.
I make a motion that we approve the, deputy salary certifications for 17-18 as written.
Okay, go first.
I'll second that motion.
Second from Eric. Is there any more discussion on this topic? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, motion carries. And that included the sheriff's deputies?
Yes.
All righty, well, go down and do some committee reports.
I get to start?
Yeah.
Thank you. Monday the 12th, I get started at 7:30 with our policy review with, Paul. Wednesday, I attended that on Monday. On Wednesday, I, had a person up at Bode tell me that some of that new blacktop up in there, was kinda rough on one of the bridges. Recommended that I go drive it, so after I got done, I took and went up there and drove it. And then I visited with Paul beforehand, and he drove it on the way home. And so they were measuring one of the bridges up there for the approach. Thought it was a little rough for, he said the part of it was the blacktop is so smooth that when you feel the approach of the bridge, there is a little, so they were gonna talk to Heartland about hopefully getting part of that checked up on.
How'd it feel to you?
It felt rough. I drove it with my pickup, 'cause I knew it'd be rough in the semi, but,
You're talking about like approach, like a bump, rough,
oh, yeah, like where it goes up onto the bridge from the,
like a bump
Yeah.
type, or a shift in
Well,
elevation?
I visited with Paul about that too, and he says, from what I understood, you kinda come down a little bit hill to the bridge, and then there's a back slope off the bridge, so you kinda little whoop,
A whoop,
up onto
there you go.
up onto the bridge, and you kinda feel that.
well, they took a long post across their piece of iron and they measured it. And, I'm sure he'll give us a report when he talks to us about it. Then, also on Wednesday, I had a meeting with Paul and a couple of workers from the secondary roads, some issues with them. We met for about an hour over at secondary roads. On Friday, we were supposed to have our juvenile detention board, but they moved it to Thursday. And Thursday, when Rick Rasmussen called and said, "Are you on your way to Eldora?" I said, "No, I'm on my way to Bode." He says, "Well, they switched their meeting, so I didn't get to it." So, you want me to go stand in the corner? But everything
You're
was...
allowed to pass.
Everything was good on, I got my packet, Rick brought a packet back, and everything's running good down there. Humboldt is, we're doing good, we don't have any issues, so
Good.
that's all I have.
Very good. I didn't have anything all week except Thursday. We had the ISAC board meeting in Des Moines. Peggy and I were down there. Peggy chaired that meeting. It was pretty routine. Went through the budget, went through the reports from the various departments. And then in the afternoon, we met with the League of Cities, and we basically talked about legislation that had been passed. The big concern we had was the backfilling of the property tax. If that doesn't continue, you know, the 20% backfill that the state gives us, if the state's short of money, if somehow they start pulling that out, we're all gonna be in trouble, school districts, counties. And so we're working together to see what we can do to make sure that continues. And that was about the basis of the meeting. It was kinda interesting. We had city managers and mayors from all over the state of Iowa, along with the ISAC board. And we tried to come up with a plan how we can talk to our legislatures and work together on that. And then, we reviewed some of the upcoming meetings, and you guys are all signed up. I think Peggy guys signed up for the August meeting, and they had 450 hits the first hour.
Oh, is that a
They
good
really
response?
signed up fast. But then I thought it was kinda interesting here, we brag about Peggy a little bit. August 23rd, she's supposed to introduce Kim Reynolds, Senator Ernst, and Senator Grassley. So we're gonna have to go watch her do that. It was a good meeting. That was it for me.
You were, on Monday, you were at the meeting with Paul reviewing.
Oh, that's right, I forgot about that. Thanks, Bruce. That's it for me, Larry.
Okay, this past Monday at the 7:30 policy review get-together before the meeting. Then on June 14th, so Wednesday, Wednesday, I actually had it's a Humboldt, Hamilton, Wright County Decategorization Board. And it was a very short meeting, so virtually everyone called in by teleconference, including myself. But anyway, so the couple agenda items that were needed to be acted on, we did. So it was a real short teleconference meeting, that I did on Wednesday afternoon with the decategorization board. So that went well, then we have another meeting next month, a little bit bigger one. So anyway, that's, all going very well as far as, and don't ask me the specific details of decategorization, because there's a lot of stuff going on there, but it's going along quite well for the 3 counties involved right now. So that was my meetings for last week.
Okay.
For those of you that don't know, we're in time delay until 9 o'clock is the water, or the drainage, so we
Margin
can't,
time.
we're just,
Yeah, we have to, supposed to stay on our schedule, so if anybody wants to come to the
Close
meeting,
to
they're
it.
that's what we're doing our stuff at the end.
On Friday.
Okay, Monday I was here also for the policy review with Paul. And then, Friday, I met with Paul up here at the room here, and I had to come in the courthouse for some other business, and he was up here, and we visited about, intakes out in, the right-of-ways. I mentioned to him that we need to get after that this summer, so he's gonna put something together, I believe.
Good.
Can you say that again, Rick?
I always had to come up here for some personal business at courthouse, and Paul was up here, so we just visited about intakes in the right-of-ways, and the road ditches.
Yep.
And I mentioned that, summer,
Let's get them fixed.
let's get after them, so hopefully he'll bring something to the board, later today. I just wanna mention to the audience here that I got a funeral this morning, so I'm gonna turn it over to Bruce about 9 o'clock, and, he'll take it from there.
From a short day.
And we're short days,
That's
but
nice,
we
you guys.
still have a quorum, so we'll be in good hands. And that's all I had for this week. Do you have anything you wanna talk to us about, Peggy?
I sure do. Okay, this is something I'm gonna have you sign. Carl had stopped me after the meeting last week and said it's time to give our part-time custodian an increase in pay. And unable to do that, then Chris usually likes to have some formal document saying what are we increasing to and what's the effective date, and that's what he has something to go by for our records. So if you would sign that for us, we'll get
Yep.
that done.
That's something we promised him when we hired him back 6 months ago, so it's time to, and Dave brought that to my attention, that's the reason I said something to you, Peggy.
Right.
So it's time to do it.
Yeah.
You're doing a good job.
And yeah, from what I hear, he's doing an excellent job.
Yeah, he is doing a great job. I got people signed up for the meetings for ISAC. These are your copies to, this one's Eric's, to okay for me, just initial it or sign your name or however you normally do when you're approving bills so we can pay your registration fees. I'll hang on to this one for Dave. I wasn't able to get everybody into the Marriott because of the hit, and it was blocking you out for a while there, and it wouldn't let you in. But you're on the waiting list, the ones that didn't get in, and Kelsey didn't think it'd be, too bad to get you in, so
Okay.
we'll get everybody switched over. Right now, everybody has a room, it's just not at the Marriott. You may be at that, Holiday Inn or one of those other,
Yeah.
hotels.
What
But
is
we
it,
will
Peggy,
get you
year
switched.
2018, spring of 19, spring of 19, we'll all get together.
Yes.
To get the new
Yeah, I should
hotel
have
bill.
some hotel
We
then.
quit messing around like this.
We'll have more rooms, and we
Yeah.
should be able to fit more people into the
We'll get a
hotel.
lot less exercise, so.
Yep.
Oh, you're
Don't
still
have to
gonna,
walk
yeah,
so
this-
far.
yeah, you want to walk so far. Last week I had asked Rick about the Iowa Drainage District Association dues. We always pay the dues out of, general basic. We used to pay it out of each individual drainage fund, and it just took forever, 'cause you're taking $10 out of here and $5 out of there, and, to split it up. But then this was an additional one, and we did pay, the Des Moines Water Works Fund
Yeah.
this current year. So if you wanna continue to pay it, I need Rick to okay this one, to put,
Is that $5,000?
Yep, and
Didn't they request it?
they did request it, I was at the meeting, they had some outstanding bills that they
Outstanding
still
bills,
have to
yeah.
do. And the thought was, they'll request the money, and when it's all final and done, they'll refund back what's left in that account.
Was our original promise for 3 years? Or do we have a judge's agreement?
I can't remember if there was a limit on years or not on that, but I think it was money well spent.
Oh, yeah, the outcome was very favorable.
Yeah. So with your permission, I'll sign now.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't need a motion, but as long as you guys are
Oh,
okay
you
with that.
please pass that back so I don't lose it.
Thank you, and we'll get that into the bills for next week. What else did I have? Oh, the North Central Regional Solid Waste, and Rick may be able to explain this better. I just thought it'd be good information for, people who do watch your
Okay.
videos to know about tarping of trucks.
Yeah, and also for the newspaper, you might wanna get a copy of this and put it in the papers. Basically, they've raised their tarping fees on loads, coming into the landfill down there. Yeah, I think it used to be $10 for like a dumpster, now it's $100. Because what was happening, for $10, they just didn't tarp them, you know, and they just passed it along to the consumer. And, they were getting a lot of complaints from stuff blowing off the loads coming into town. So we've raised the rates down there to put a little bite into it. For $100, I think they'll tarp it. And then for a pickup load that comes in untarped, it's gonna be a $20 charge.
Used to be 10, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it was probably 10, maybe it's even 5, I can't remember now, I'd have to go back to my notes. And that's gonna be, I think, was it July? Yeah,
So
July
this is
1st.
if it isn't tarped,
If
then
it isn't tarped.
you get charged that.
You get
it
charged
isn't.
extra,
So if it is tarped,
Yeah,
you're fine.
you're good.
there's still a fee to dump it there.
Oh, yeah.
Correct?
Oh, yeah.
The fee didn't go up.
No,
The
fee.
fine went up.
There's no increase in fee, just a fine if it's untarped.
Well, that, yep.
Mhm. And when they say tarped, you know, you can cover it with plywood and strap it down, just
So it doesn't get out of
it's
the...
covered,
Right.
you know.
That makes sense.
It doesn't necessarily have to be,
I think the amount of shingles that are going that direction
yeah, have been huge,
and wood that gets blown off along the
Well, yeah,
road.
no one wants stuff,
yeah,
refuse in their yard or on the
Yeah.
road.
so, that's, kinda what that was, and I don't know if the tire charge is on here too. Oh, yeah, that's in the second page. Tires coming in, the price on that went up a little bit also, just to, 'cause they were losing, about $1 per tire that come in. To get
So they will,
to get-
they accept tires?
They do take tires.
What's
but
the
they
charge on the tire?
Well.
Depends on the size.
Depends on if it's a car tire, with or without rim.
Yep.
It's about $7, or $5 without the rim, $7 with the rim.
Okay, is that the new?
That's the new rate.
Okay,
I think it was 3 or 4 before.
right, yeah, then
And,
it costs
you
them
know,
more than that to get rid of them.
Yeah, and then it goes all the way down to motorcycle tires and ATV tires and all that stuff. So, do you have a copy of this yet?
If I get a copy.
Yeah,
I
okay.
can make some copies before.
They're just trying to keep up with the pace of things, because they haven't changed them for quite a few years, and...
Next time we buy a set of tires, that'll be passed along to us.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Well, most of the tire
Well, yeah.
places charged more than what we were charging.
They did,
Yeah.
well, they didn't wanna lose money.
No, 'cause they didn't want to lose money either, so, that's why they raised the rates on those. And they do have somebody that comes around and like sort them out, somebody comes around, picks them up, and they chip them, or whatever they do with them. But, anyway, is there any other business that we need to discuss here? We got about 7 minutes. Well, seeing nothing, we'll just take a short recess
Okay,
until 9 o'clock.
okay.
You have to leave at 9:30.
I have to leave at 9.